Hey, sixth grade. This is Mr. Harden here. Today we are going to talk about area in the wonderful world of geometry, okay? So this actually starts our geometry unit. We'll be on this unit for quite a while. We're going to be doing several different things with area, several different things with surface area, some volume stuff. It's a lot of geometry, okay? So this is something completely new we're doing. We're going to be dealing with fraction sum, decimal sum, and things like that. But the most important thing with this is just look at your formulas, okay? Look at your formulas, keep good notes, keep track of your formulas, okay? So with area, okay? With area, the first thing I need you to do is go on to your Google Classroom, wherever it may be, and find your area formulas page, okay? This is gonna be your bestest friend for about the next week, because we're going to write down the shape and the formula for each of the things we're learning today, okay? Now, with this, we're only going to get through the four that you see on the screen right now, all right? We're going to get through these four shapes. The two at the bottom, we're actually going to cover those tomorrow. Miss Parrish will cover them in the video, but we're going to tackle the first four today, okay? So make sure you're taking good notes with this. Make sure you're working the examples. That way you have great examples to go over and look at it as well. So you'll need this pulled up and a sheet of paper, okay? If you want to write this out instead of typing it in, that is fine as well, okay? Just make sure you have it somewhere. So the first shape or the first area thing we're going to talk about is what area is, okay? The definition of area is the amount of space inside the boundary of a 2D object, okay? So it's the amount of space inside the boundary of a 2D object. So a good way to kind of visualize this is if you think of a farm, okay? If you think of square fields in a farm, or honestly any shape in a farm, the fence is what we call the perimeter. And everything inside that perimeter is going to be the area, okay? Now, area is a two-dimensional shape, meaning you can only see one side of it, all right? But that is the area. Another thing we'll talk about with area is it's always measured in square units, okay? Inches squared, feet squared, centimeters squared. So it's going to be measurements of distance, but at the same time, it's going to be measurements that are squared, all right? And that's because it is two-dimensional. So you can write that as in inches squared, feet squared, or centimeters squared. So you can write it like that. Or you can legitimately say, say it's inches, you can just say square inches, okay? Now this way I will tell you is a lot more common. You will see it a lot more, and it kind of looks more professional, but we'll take either, okay? We'll take either. Now, one of the most important things with this, you must always use the formula and show your work when finding the area, all right? You have to show what formula you're using. Without formula, you're not going to get these. Okay, there's no way to answer them without a formula. So make sure you write the formula, and then we're going to show our work for the numbers we plug in. And it's a lot like algebra, because we're just going to take numbers and we're going to plug them in where they go and then solve it. Okay, solve it using the old order of operations, or PEMDAS. So you must always use the formula and show your work when finding area. All right. So let's go ahead and get on with our first shape. Our first shape is going to be a square and a rectangle. So if we look back at the orange sheet, this is actually the first two boxes, okay? But the thing about this is you're going to find the area for a square and for a rectangle with the same formula. And that's area equals length times width, okay? Area equals length times width. So what you're going to do is wherever it says the shape, you're going to write square. And where it says formula, A equals length times width. Let's do this here just in case. So this is going to be a square, and area equals length times width. Okay? And the same thing for the rectangle. Our formula is A equals L times W. So that's our two formulas for those shapes. Okay? So you'll notice these. What this means is all the sides are equal in a square. In the rectangle, you'll notice these two sides are equal, and then you'll notice these two sides are equal. Okay? The red boxes, or the boxes down here, also means that they are at right angles. You'll have to know angles in a month or two. But those are at right angles, and that also makes a square or a rectangle. Okay? So let's go ahead and work one of these out. So what I have is, well, if I can get one box to show up, not the other one. I've got a square first. Okay? So when you see a shape, the first thing you do is you identify the shape, that's a square, and then you write down the area, or sorry, the formula of that shape. A equals length times width. All right? And then you just fill it in, or fill that information in. A equals the length times the width. You're multiplying here, so it really doesn't matter what order it's in. So just go ahead and put 6 for one of them and 6 for the other one. A equals length times width. Once you do that, just use your order of operations to solve. A equals 6 times 6, which is 36. Okay? 6 times 6, which is 36. So you need 1, 2, 3 lines of work for squares and rectangles. Okay? Now, you try this one. The thing about it is it's a square. Okay? We know it's a square. These are at right angles. So if one side's 9.2, the other side's going to be 9.2. Now, let me rewind because I made a golden mistake. What I should have done over here is this is feet, so I'm going to write feet squared. You got a label too, okay? And that's my bad on that one, but we're going to fix it over here as well. So my answer on the first was 36 feet squared. On this one, we've got centimeters. So the first thing you're going to do is write the formula. Area equals length times width. Now you pause the video and you try this one. So let's go over it. Area equals 9.2 times 9.2. All right, I fill in my length times width. I'm going to work this out. 9.2 times 9.2. I've got 2 times, let me put my decimals in, 2 times 2, which is 4. 2 times 9, which is 18. All right, it's done with that. Placeholder 0. Then I've got 9 times 2, which is 18, carry the 1. And then 9 times 9, which is 81, plus 1, 82. So after I do that, I add these up, and we've got 4. 8 plus 8 is 16, carry the 1. 2 plus 1 is 4. And then 8, just drop it down. So 8, 4, 6, 8. But I move the decimal out 1 place and 1 place. So total of 2 places. So I move the decimal in 2 places. So my answer is going to be 84.64. So area equals 84.64 centimeters, because that's what it's labeled. Always check your label. Square. All right. So let's go down to the rectangles. Okay. Look at your first rectangle. It's the same thing, same formula. So area equals length times width. It's a centimeter. It does not matter which when you do first, you can do the length or the width first. So you can do A equals 6 times 1. Plug it in. And then you answer that. A equals 6 times 1, which is 6. Then we go back centimeters squared. So area is 6 centimeters squared. All right, so pause the video and you try this one with the decimals. Okay? My formula, area equals length times width. All right, so let's check it. Area equals 4.2 times 13.6. 4.2 times 13.6. I need to go down here and work that out. Okay. I'm multiplying decimals of that. So 2 times 6 is 12. Carry the 1. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 more is 7. And then 2 times 1 is 2. All right, so that out, placeholder 0. 4 times 6. 4 times 6 is 24. Carry the 2. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 is going to be 14. Carry the 1. And then 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 more is 5. So when I add all those together, I get 2. 4 plus 7 is 11. Carry the 1. 2 plus 4 is 6, plus 1 more is 7. And then bring down the 5. But move the decimal out once, move the decimal out once, move it back in twice. So 57.12. 57.12. So area equals 57.12 yards on this one. And then I square it. So 57.12 yards squared. All right. So now, let's go to my next shape. Okay. The next shape is going to be a parallelogram. All right. Area of a parallelogram. The formula I'm going to use for that is A equals BH. Okay. A equals BH. So let's go back up to this. On your paper, we're going to write parallelogram. Yeah, this is going to be fun. I'm not even trying to spell it. Area equals BH, and then we're going to go back and say parallel. Yeah, I'm not even trying to spell that. There's how you spell it. Bada bing, bada boom. There we go, parallelogram. I'm a math teacher. I can't spell. It's okay. So area equals base times height for a parallelogram. Okay? Now, one thing that will get you on this. Okay? I've got 3 numbers on this problem right here. I'm doing the base times the height. Okay? So this is the base. This is the height. When you go to the doctor and they check your height, you don't slant over like this number. Okay? You stand up straight and tall. So when you're looking for the height, you look for the height that's with the line that's standing up straight and tall. Okay? So it's going to be this one. And here's what I mean by that. All right? So I've got 3 numbers once again. I've got 3 numbers. So find the area of the parallelogram. So I know my formula first. Area equals base times height. Okay. My base, that one's easy. Area equals the base, which is 20. And then the height is either 13 or 11. Well, 13 is slanted. It's not standing up straight and tall. So I'm going to go with the 11. Okay. The 11. And it is a centimeter. Okay. So there's my formula. I just go ahead and multiply that out. 20 times 11. 20 times 11. Let's go with 1 times 0, which is 0. 1 times 2, which is 2. Placeholder 0. 1 times 20 is 20. So I get 220. All right, 220. So the area is 220 centimeters squared. All right. So make sure you have that copied down. And then you do this one. All right. So I've got my formula first. Area equals base times height. Touch, multiply. All right. So my base is going to be 5.5 centimeters. So area equals 5.5 times, then the height. I've got a 7, I've got an 8. They're both centimeters, but I need the one that stands up straight. All right, and that's going to be 8. So I'm going to write in 8 over here. So I've got 5.5 times 8. 8 times 5 is going to be 40. 8 times 5 is once again 40, but I've got 4 more to add on, so 44. Now, move the decimal out once, 0 times, move it back in once. So my answer is going to be 44. All right, then I've got to add centimeters squared. And that is the area of a parallelogram. Parallelogram. So make sure you got the right answer copied down on that one. The last figure we have is the area of a rhombus. Now, a rhombus is really fun to say, but besides that, it's not that difficult. But we have two formulas, okay? It does not matter which formula you use. It's honestly the same thing. You're either multiplying or dividing by 2 at the end, okay? So our first formula you can write down for the rhombus is A equals 1/2 D1 D2. Now that's a lot of things, but they're all touching, so you multiply them together, okay? Touch, touch, you multiply. So A equals 1/2 D1 D2. Or the other formula, which I included 2 boxes in this for you to type in, is area equals D1 D2 divided by 2. So pretty much either way, you're taking half from it, okay? So you're going to get the exact same answer. All right, going to get the exact same answer. So let's go ahead and try to work out this problem. All right, area equals, we'll use 1/2 D1 D2. Now, you may be asking what D1 and D2 stand for. What that stands for is the diagonal, okay? The diagonal. So we're going from P to R and Q to S. Both those are diagonals. So from P to R, it's 12 units, and from Q to S, it's 26 units. We're going to say inches, okay? So what I have is A equals 1/2. Then I'm going to put my first diagonal. It doesn't matter which one, but I'm going to put 12. And then my second diagonal, I'm going to put 26. Now, this is this formula. Okay, I'll show you how to use the other formula in a minute. But what I do here is I multiply because they're all touching. All right? So, area equals, I'm going to multiply these two together first. 1/2 times 12. All right, 1/2 times 12 over 1. We're cross reduced, that's not 6, that's 1. This one's 6. So 1 times 6 is 6 over 1. So that means area equals 6 times 26. I'm going to go ahead and add multiplication symbols in here just to help us. So 6 times 26. So I'll have to do that over here as well. 26 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36. Carry the 3. 6 times 2 is 12. Plus 3 is 15. So I've got 156. Now, I am going to go back up and I'm going to look at the inches. I'm going to square it. Okay? Now, let's work it out with the other formula. Okay? Let's work it out with the other formula. So, what I've got on that one is A equals D1, D2 divided by 2. So, I'm going to find out D1 and D2 first. I'm going to multiply those together. So, A equals D1. Sorry, I shouldn't write that. I should write the numbers in. But now I've got 12 times 26 divided by 2. All right, so the first thing we'll figure out now is 12 times 26. 2 times 6 is 12. Carry the 1. 2 times 2 is 4. Plus 1 more is 5. Placeholder 0. 1 times 26 is 26. Add those together. I get 2. I get 11. And I get 3. So 312. All right. A equals 312 over 2. So that's an improper fraction, as you can see, but I can get rid of that because I'm just going to divide it. So I've got 312 divided by 2. 2 goes into 3 one time. 1 times 2 is 2. Subtract it. I get 1. 2 goes into 11. 2 goes into 11 5 times. 5 times 2 is going to be 10. So I subtract it, I get 1. Bring down the 2. 2 goes into 12, 6 times. 6 times 2 is 12. That equals 0. So, area equals 156 inches squared. And I got the same answer on both. Whichever formula you want to use, it does not matter. Okay, it does not matter. Please rewind this if you have to and make sure you have both of those examples copied down just in case. Okay, both of those examples copied down just in case. All right. Now, you try this one. Okay, you try this one. All right, so let's work this one out. I'll go ahead and work both ways again. I've got area equals 1/2 times D1 times D2. Okay, so A equals 1/2 times 8 times 12. So A equals 1/2 times, sorry, I read my phone right there. 1/2 times 8, half of 8 is 4. So 4 times 12, okay? A equals 48. And whatever, we'll say inches again because it's not labeled. It's not bad, but we'll say inches. So inches squared. Let's work it the other way now. Area equals D1, D2 divided by 2. Okay? So area equals D1 is 8 times 12, which is D2, divided by 2. Area equals 8 times 12. 8 times 12, work it out just to make sure. 8 times 2 is 16, carry the 1. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 1 more is 9. So 96 divided by 2. 96 divided by 2. 2 goes into 9. 4 times 2 is 8. Subtract that, I get 1. We're going to 6. 2 goes into 16. 8 times 2 is 16. Okay? So once again, A equals 48 inches squared. Okay? Same answer. So make sure you have that written down. That is where we're going to stop for today. What you have is a worksheet. This worksheet, I will go ahead and show you right here. It looks like this. You've got 9 questions. You've got 9 questions, okay? Just go ahead and answer those. You're going to have to look at the shape, and you're going to have to figure out which one's which and which formula you're using, okay? If you have any questions, please ask your teacher. I hope you have a great Thursday, and we will talk to you tomorrow.